A lot of you are probably wondering why there's no video about the championship tournament that I was gonna do this weekend. Well, I did do it this weekend. I was going to film this weekend. And basically, I got up that morning and I was getting ready to bring the cameras. And I just really wanted to focus on, you know, fishing and hopefully doing good in that tournament. I will let you know how it turned out. It didn't turn out well for me, but you know, a few of my buddies really did good in that tournament, so props to them. I didn't do so hot. That's just something you have to accept. What I've learned over the years of being a tournament fisherman is you have to have very thick skin, because you're not gonna win. You're gonna lose a lot more than you win, let's put it like that. So I went out there and tried. I really focused on fishing. I just didn't want to film for 2 days and focus on that. I wanted to focus all my effort towards doing good in the tournament. Maybe I should have filmed, I don't know. Maybe the camera's good luck. But I didn't miss much because I didn't catch much. So with that said and out of the way, today is a new day. We're gonna go do something. Not sure yet. I'm gonna eat lunch and then I'm gonna go to fishing. Let's go. Okay, I just wanted to show you something real quick. Look at this. Look at the trees. Winter is coming, and it's coming fast, and I don't like it. Today's video is going to be over helpful fishing tips that will help you on the water and off the water and just make your overall fishing experience a little bit easier. These are just some hints and tips that I've accumulated over the years of fishing, and I'm gonna go ahead and share them with you guys. So let's go ahead and get on to hint/tip number 1. Okay, so fishing tip number 1 is going to be buy a pair of these boomerang snips. These right here are some of the best fishing perches I've ever made, and I'm going to show you why right now. Right here I have Rapala titanium. This is in a 30-pound test. Now this is braided fishing line, which is extremely tough fishing line. It's going to be, you know, a lot more abrasion resistant and harder to cut than a typical monofilament or fluorocarbon. So this is about the hardest fishing line that you'll have to cut. And I'm gonna show you real quick how quick and easily these cut versus like scissors that get dull, pliers that chip and get dull as well. And it's a lot better option than your teeth. And I'm gonna show you how easily this cuts. I'm not even holding this tight. Here, watch this. Done. Done. Bam. So that's it for fishing tip number 1. They also have a little retractable cord on it to keep them handy. I know sometimes if I get caught without a fishing tool to, you know, cut the line, I end up using my teeth, which is not a good option. That will hurt your teeth and damage them. Don't do it. This is a very good alternative. Let's go on to fishing tip number 2. Fishing tip number 2 is going to be investing in a cheap but affordable marker buoy. Basically what this is, it's got a hunk of lead tied to a string. What this does is if you want to mark something in the water, because water is kind of a hard thing to get a pinpoint on in an exact area. So if you're catching fish out of a certain area, or if there's a brush pile or a rock pile, anything beneath the water that you know of and you want to mark where that is and not forget about it, you can go ahead and toss these overboard and they'll simply unravel, and once the weight hits the bottom of the lake or pond or whatever you're fishing, then the buoy will just stop. That way you have a visual pinpoint on where you're catching the fish, what you're catching off of, whatever you want to mark. Since the cold weather season is coming upon us for a lot of you guys who fish out in the cold weather, gloves may seem like an obvious choice of equipment, but when you're out there in the cold weather, you need your hands to keep on fishing. You need them to tie lures on, you need them to handle the fishing rod, you need your hands for a lot of things, but a little tip is to use lightweight gloves. These are real thin gloves so you can still work well and you can still feel the rod, feel the bite. Use hand warmers. These are real cheap. Get them at Walmart or any, you know, convenience store or something like that. Shake them up, put them in the palm of your gloves, and that way you got warmth coming through your gloves all day long. And this can sometimes help if your gloves do happen to get wet. So that is fishing tip number 3. Let's move on to fishing tip number 4. 4 is going to be more geared towards fish handle and just ease of use. That is one of these. This is a fish gripper, and a lot of people use these for gripping fish, and you know, especially fish that have teeth like pike, pickerel, muskie, sometimes catfish. That's what these are generally used for in my experience. You can attach these to your scale. Most scales have just a metal hook, and they want you to put them, you know, in the fish's gills or punch a hole through the lip. That's not really, you know, good on the fish. These in the fish's lips, clamp it down. You can weigh your fish, and then you can let the fish go very easily and unharmed. See if you guys agree with me on this one. How many of you out there have a hard time spooling up your fishing reels? I used to lay them on the ground, they'd get tangled and catch on the side of the spool, then they'd go skirting off across the bottom of the ground, get tangled on something. It's just not a good idea, and a lot of times your line can get frayed as well when you do something like that. So what I do is I invested in a line spooler. You go ahead and screw your reel onto this, like that, then you tie your line on, and now as you reel, the line comes off the spool really well. This is a Pizzy Fun, as you can see right there, line spooler. I'll leave the link in the description below. This is a really good tool, and also it can eliminate line twist. Believe it or not, if you guys have ever had line twist on especially your spinning reels, that is because you're not spooling them correctly. Alrighty guys, last but not least, we're going to talk about sun protection, and this is something to think about all year long. When that sun is out, whether it's hot out or not, this is something to think about. You can get burned year-round due to the sun. Investing in a buff, and if you're like me, I don't really like to, you know, have sunscreen on my skin. I just don't like the feel of it. A buff is a really good alternative. All you do is put the buff over your head and it covers your entire face. Put a pair of sunglasses on and a hat, and you are very well equipped for the sun. This is an alternative to sunscreen if you don't like the feel of that, and you're still protecting the biggest organ in your body, which is your skin. Alright everyone, so if you enjoyed today's video and learned something, give me a, whoa, there's 2 bees right by the, oh, I gotta get out of here, there's bees that are attacking me. If you guys enjoyed today's video, drop a like below and subscribe if you haven't. Subscribe to my channel for new content. Thank you guys again. Leave any comments, questions that you want me to answer below in the description. Thank you guys again for watching. I will see you next time.